Hey, what's up everyone? It's Kathy and I'm back with another Flashback Friday. It's almost not Friday, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to start a new schedule where I'm uploading more in the evening or nighttime just because that's the easiest time for me to record. So, I'm scrapbooking these pictures of my son from way back in the day, I don't know, 2011, and I'm using a bunch of papers from about 2011. I have this theory that I didn't refocus my camera. That's going to be bad because that's like, I don't know how many minutes of it not being focused. It seems kind of focused. I don't know. I can't record it again, so I apologize. I've already made the layout. Um, yeah, so I'm using this this pink paisley line for a lot of it, and it's called Prairie Hill, and it was 2011 that I bought several of those papers. I bought coordinating stickers and they went sour within a year. They all got wrecked. I'm not sure what happened, if the sun hit them or whatnot, but they faded out completely. So I don't have any embellishments. Oh yeah, I totally did not. I'm sorry guys, it is not focused, but you can kind of see what I'm doing anyway. I'm using the way that the pattern almost, it has diamonds, but then it kind of looks like it could be stripes. So I'm using that to my advantage to put some stripes on the page just to give some visual interest. I guess I originally was just going to do big strips of paper across horizontally and then just put the pictures in, which is kind of like a true and tested method, like it's a true and tested layout choice. But then when I saw that they had this diagonal stripe looking paper, I decided to do that. So I'm doing it on both sides. I'm not sure if I really am 100% cool with how this layout turned out. It was a little hard pressed because, of course, I didn't have a lot of embellishments to really work with. So it just kind of was grabbing here and there. But it's not one that I would dislike enough to go back and redo. Like, I'm happy enough with it. So I'm just gonna kind of glue down these strips. And yeah, so I have like maybe 5 or 6 of the pattern paper. I did show a Cosmo Cricut one that's a wood grain, but it's like a hand-drawn looking wood grain, very cartoony. And I don't end up using it, but I'm definitely going to be using it in an upcoming video. I have several pieces that are like that. Some of them are like pink wood grain and a green wood grain, and I'm just kind of eager to use them. It's an old Cosmo Cricut line, which I don't have any of the embellishments to either, so that'll be interesting to go through my stash and find embellishments. And with this series, I have no problem grabbing whatever from whatever period. I'm just trying to go back in my stash. Most of my old stuff is just papers. I don't own a lot of old embellishments unless it's something that I maybe bought on a whim or bought because at the time I was just buying whatever I could find. So I wasn't buying online or anything, and now I kind of wait and buy online and get a lot of my stuff there. So I'm getting a lot of the newer stuff that I really enjoy as opposed to kind of like picking through dollar bins. So, yeah. Um, this is one of our annual trips to the pumpkin patch. I now kind of make it like a big event where we do like a lot of almost like a photo shoot. And at this point, it wasn't quite to that degree. I mean, I was getting some nice photos, but he was so obsessed with the tractor that he's sitting on in the big photo. There we go, back to focused. That I didn't bother, trying to get amazing shots. I just got some action shots, and then we picked our pumpkins. Now when we go, I have my daughter and him, so I do shots of her and shots of him, and I try to make them dressed in a little bit cuter clothes because this is kind of like one of our main photo shoots that I do for the kids. And I'm trying to get it even, and I can't find my my T ruler to do it. I find it like later when it's all done. Um, but this is what I kind of decided to go with. It's kind of just a straightforward layout design. Like anyone could scrap lift this. It's so easy to do. You don't have to do the diagonal stripes or anything, but that's simple, like big photo, 2 little photos on the side. It's not even something I normally do. This is a very structured layout, and I have kind of gone away from doing structured layouts, but you know, the papers and the subject matter almost to me dictated that it needed to be a little bit more structured, just the vintage feel of everything. I felt kind of needed a bit more of a traditional layout. I do end up cutting out this like little kite design and putting it underneath, and you pretty much don't end up seeing it in the end. I cover it all up, but you know, it was cute. I I could have fussy cut out the whole thing, but oh my gosh, I'm not fussy cutting out all that. Like, forget it. I don't mind fuzzy cutting to some degree, but that would be insane for me to sit there and do all that, especially since I am left-handed and cut with right-handed scissors. So no. So this is the next day. I stopped that at like, it was after midnight when I was finishing that up, and I was getting really kind of sad that it wasn't going the way I want. So I grabbed some, I laid it all out the way I liked, and then took it all off, took a picture and took it all off. So I'm reattaching everything that I had kind of decided on. So that tag that says Stay Curious and the one that says Dream are from the Wonder collection, and they match really well with everything. So I'm just putting some twine, some jute, like very thin jute, on each side to add in some texture. And there's my daughter. She's with me for a lot of this. On both sides. And I just cut little banners out of B-sides of some of the paper. And I'm just kind of laying out stuff the way I want. I'm getting my hot glue gun heated up to glue down these big cuts of wood from Amy Tangerine. And it's a really recent line, but I cannot remember the name of the line. I'm certain you guys probably know better than me. So the stickers that say these moments, and the little gray arrow that says pretty darn cute, and the little orange arrow, they're all from an Amy Tangerine line too. Oh, here's my thing with the wooden ones. Does it tell me what it's from? No, it doesn't tell me the line it's from. That's kind of weird. Whatever. Whatevs. I'll move on. See how I glued down that big 3? That's because I thought my son was 3 at the time, and I totally glued it down with hot glue, and he's not 3. So after I filmed and took a picture, I just wrote in black pen just the 3 of us on that piece of wood, just so it would make sense why there was a big 3. Because at the time there was just the 3 of us. Nobody else had been born yet. So a lot of those stickers are from an Amy Tangerine sticker sheet that I'll show at the end. And then this is Bear Hugs, and the I Love Mother Nature, I believe they're from an old basic gray line. And they're fabric. They're like a canvas feeling one. And I don't, like, I have the package, but I don't have them on a package. I just have them on a piece of plastic. So I can't remember the actual line, but it's a little bit old. I'm just debating if I'm going to put any wood veneer down, but I decided not to, but I have to re-glue that. It's not sticking well. So I'm kind of doing like a whole, almost like a big banner design straight across. I'm just going to put those little arrows there because I want to put my title up top. And I'm digging that. Like, it's cute. It's a little different. I don't have a set style. For anyone who ever watches any of my videos, I think I've put up like 20 videos maybe so far. And you'll notice I don't have a set style. I kind of switch it up. Sometimes I like white cardstock in the back and that crispness. And sometimes I use pattern paper, and a lot of pattern paper. And I go vintage, I go modern, I go mixed media, or really structured. I don't have a specific style. And I don't know if I have enough time to explain this, but when I was studying animation and art for the second time, I had a teacher, and he had this saying, and he said, "Don't say style, say crappy drawing." And here's what he meant. He meant you can have a style. A lot of us who scrapbook and do videos, we have a style, like a specific style that we kind of gravitate to. And all he was trying to say was like, if you have a style as an artist, don't use it as a crutch. And what he's saying is there's some people, like there's artists out there, and they're pretty famous, like comic book artists, and they can't draw hands to save their life. I'm not going to name names. And so that artist never always draws his characters like with closed hands because he can't draw hands. So that became quote unquote his style. So he started using it as more of a crutch than trying to get better and improve. So we all have our own styles. I'm not saying it's bad to have a style. What I'm saying is, even if you have a style, don't use it as a crutch and just say, well, I can't do that because this is my style. Totally, experiment. There's nothing wrong with experimenting. And you may not like the results, but you tried. You know what I mean? Like I know I have very specific styles. I do when I draw too. I have a few different styles that I draw with. You couldn't necessarily pick out a drawing of mine and say, well, that's a Kathy Martin drawing. But I can tell, like I have a few different styles that I gravitate towards when I draw. So, but I don't use it as a crutch. I don't mind experimenting with different ones. So, own your style, have your signature, but don't be afraid to experiment and learn and keep growing. And don't just sit there and be stagnant and say, well, I can't because that's my style. No, no, no. Have fun. This is a really fun hobby, and it's a chance for you to try all different things. That is a close to my heart stamp set that I got when I was on a design team, and that little stamp that I stamped on it with stays on says Born to Roam, and I love it. It was called like a hipster stamp set, and it was really cute. And I had shown there, that's where those stickers came from, was that Amy Tangerine set. And I did show the Cosmo Cricut alphas that I used, that I wrote out which one. They're old. They're from 2010. So I am going way back in my stash. And that Discover label tag was from like an old, I think it was Jilly Bean Soup set of labels that I bought. They were like nerd ones. And that was old too, like 2011 to 2010. So I did some mustard Heidi Swap. It didn't really match the way I wanted it to, but then I do some black Heidi Swap. So that's pretty much it. Pictures are coming up. Thanks everyone for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!